Namaskaram, Dhanyavad, Salam, Shalam, greetings, hi. You know, yesterday I was not feeling well. I was having some trouble with my blood pressure, unfortunately. And that's one of the main reason that I couldn't prolong the words or the retreats. But it's okay. Life is all about constant variation. Life is never about perfection. Life, because perfection, the edifice, the search, the premise of the search is a mirage, if you understand. It is a mirage. We keep chasing perfection, perfection, perfection. And before we know that our carnation is over, because we keep chasing the wrong, we keep chasing the wrong mirage. Also understand one thing which is very significant. Do not be disappointed if you do not see consistency in life. Sometimes your life energies are super high. Sometimes it seems like that you are falling back to your old pattern. I'm addressing to the one who is seeking for the truth. I am addressing to the one who is seeking for the wisdom. I am addressing to the one who is seeking for liberation. You see, who is very concerned, who is very concerned with their well-being, who is trying to get rid of duality. You would realize the more firm, you would realize the more stronger you become every day by taking the right measures, by not carrying the resentments in you, by not judging. You see, so many of you here are, I see they do not take a second to put opinions and put judgments because it's not them. You see, shh, shh, because it's not them. But the moment you say anything to them, the separate self, all the spiritual words and the post, they go down under the river. They go down under the deep sea. They go down. All that just goes away. And what remains is the separate self. What remains is the separate self. What remains is the individual self. What remains is ego. And they do everything in their power to defend themselves. If you understand, they try to defend something which really do not exist. They try to defend something what we understand as separate self. You see, now that separate self does not exist anywhere. That separate self just exists among a bunch. The separate self just exists among a bunch of humans who have agreed to support the image that you carry, who have agreed to back you up in the misery, you see. So everything that you pretend, basically, that you are, it goes down and under the water, it goes very deep, and then that separate self tries to defend the ego, the the knowledge that you are told you are, and you try to, and you basically try to defend that, you see, with everything you have. So there goes a lot of focus, sadly. There goes a lot of energy to support. There goes a lot of energy, basically, to support that separate self, to support that individual self, which is only being maintained, which is only being maintained by the support of your mind and the mind of those around you. You understand? So, if you are taking the right measures, if you are not promptly to judge, you see, you love to judge, you love to pass opinions, as long as it is not you. But as soon as it is you, but as soon as somebody basically calls you on something that you mentioned or you express, you have no guts basically to face the truth. You have no guts to see through what's being said because you are egoistic. That's the problem. Uh, but if you have gotten rid of these traits, remember something not long ago I mentioned no perfection. You would go back and forth as long as you are doing the meditation every day, as long as you keep trying to do the right thing, you see, there would be variation. Sometime it would seem like that you are falling off your old patterns, but do not be disappointed. Mind is your enemy. Consider it is your enemy. You know why? Because it has been our experience. It has been our experience because it does not talk friendly. It loves to abuse us, if you understand. Mind. Don't listen to the mind. It would say, look what you have done. You have missed. You are falling back. The old patterns, all that time that you have invested, all that all that time and energy that you have invested in it, and it is for zero. You know what I mean? Have you ever seen a zero? It's round. So that's what it would tell you. And it would try in its power. It would try in its power. It would do everything. It would do anything to push, to pull you back so it can be employed again. Remember, in our quest to find the truth and wisdom, we realize we need to sag the mind, which is rather a British term. In our quest to find the truth and wisdom, we realize we need to fire the mind. You see, because mind is creating duality. So the point, shh, shh. So the point I'm trying to make is do not listen to it. The time you have invested, the energy you have invested, it is only maintained by a memory, you see. But what is real for you is just the present moment and present moment only. What is real for you is just the present moment and present moment. You see, as long, if you keep looking back to the memory, look, I was doing that well. You see, as long as you think that, look, I was doing that well other day, my energies were jubilant, I was so good, I didn't have no duality, and I seem to like have duality now. I see you, unfortunately, my loved one seers. Anytime you look back, I was doing really fine 1 year ago. I was doing really fine 5 years back. I was doing really fine last October or September or November, but now this November, look what's happening. Anytime you look back and you compare your present, you ask for more misery. Please understand that this is pure wisdom that I am sharing with you, and I am sharing with you for no charge. I don't need anything from you. Just because I understand that you are very fond of your money. You see, you commit atrocities, unfortunately. You create chaos. You step on other people's throat so you can get ahead of them. And you keep your money very, very close. Because you know that you can buy a lot of things from this money. Hmm. We the yogis, we the meditators, basically. Let us see that we the yogis, we the meditators, let us see that how far, let us see that how far this money would take you. You know, you save for 10 years, you plan for 20 years, you plan for 50 years, you work like there is no tomorrow. You become workaholic and you do everything in your power. You do everything to use the resources you have in order to save the money, in order to save the money for a day that you may never see. You see, tomorrow is not promised. Who told you tomorrow is promised? Why do you have such a conviction that you would get to see tomorrow? Why we all have such a conviction that we would get to see tomorrow, or maybe we would get to see after 10 minutes or 5 minutes and stuff. You see, have we not realized people fall like flies out of nowhere? You see, this experience right now that you are having, it is super fragile. This experience right now you are having, it is super fragile, and it is subject to demise at any moment in time. Why are we struggling basically not to realize it profoundly? Because one moment when we would realize it profoundly through our own experience, then we would freak out and we would say, I was not given more time. Right now, if you look that you were not given more time, you realize all you have is time in your hand. But what are you doing with that time, huh? Nature is not unfair. Nature is not punishing you. You see, you are punishing yourself. You are being unfair with yourself. My job is to bring clarity. It is a significant topic that I am speaking about and the wisdom I'm sharing about. So the point is, do not be disappointed. Everything is interconnected if your focus remains intact. The point is that you the progress you have made, the time you have invested is not zero. Just keep trying. That's all we can do. We can always do our best. You see, always. That's our intention. Our energy would vary, our thought process would vary. Sometimes we would feel more overwhelmed with the thought. Sometimes we would feel more overwhelmed with the objects around us, the duality, the thoughts within us and the beings around us and the whole circumstance, you see. But sometimes we would not as much, as long as our intention remains clear that I am going to get rid of the duality. I am not going to entertain or volunteer my focus on more than one thing at one time. This is a conditioning. I am just like the tension in the rubber band tension. Remember? You see the rubber band tension, and that we don't want the rubber band tension. So that is one thing. Number two, when you sit for meditation, when you sit straight for meditation in a meditative pose, and the mind asks you to look around so it can hook your attention to some useless thing, which afterwards it would try to make sense out of. Again, trying to grab your focus from you so you can feel agitated, and then soon you would say, I'm going to give up. Meditation is not working for me, because you give up so easily. Sadly, I want you to give in to the meditation, not give up. You see, the sooner, do not be hard on yourself, but I have to say this, the sooner you board on the thought, no matter what the content of the thought is, content of the thought is not important. The point is, the sooner you board on the thought, now you are in time and now you are in duality. Because the mind of humanity is mostly very sick. The mind of humanity is mostly very timid and scared. You understand that? And it does not talk friendly to you. You have to turn it into your slave so you can order it around, not the other way. But most of the humans are downloading the data and catching the thought from this mind. And then they make this thought more corrupted, and the thought rolls around in the mind. It is a must now that it is a must now that you must be immune, if you understand what I'm saying to you. It is a must now that you must be immune from these things, because the mind of all humanity, for the most part, what it has duality, it has disorder, the sick karma, unfortunately, that we all carry. Some of us are very persistent to get rid of duality. The mind of humanity carries OCD. The mind of humanity carries schizophrenia, paranoia. The mind of humanity carries depression, anxiety. That's all it carries. It was not supposed to be like that. You know that? But thanks to the humans, that they became somewhere 50,000 years it took to get us this form, and somewhere down the line, while they were evolving, they were also being bent, if you understand, bent, being a little bent from their own paradise, you see. And after 50,000 years of evolution, they are way bent. They are way out of this game. So the mind of all human, you can only create distance from it. Once you create distance from it, you claim your paradise lost. Remember, I told you, if a music band is playing and the level of your tolerance is low, you can distance yourself from the music band because you do not like the song it is playing. You understand? Just like that, you can distance from yourself from the sickness. My job here is to appreciate you, if you understand. My job here is to encourage you and keep the energy going, keep the energy up. You see, that's what my job is. And as far as I'm concerned, and as far as I get the affirmations from the sacred and divinity all the time, that you are guarded and you are protected. Just keep going. You see, I am living also on bonus. I think I was not supposed to get past my birthday, but because of your well wishes, because of your prayers, because of your good intentions, I am keep going. You see, because you want me around. Sacred and divinity is telling me some of these people want you to stick around, you see. So I am sticking and I am serving you over and over and over again. I keep your energy going every day, one way or another, whether my body is feeling good or my or I am under any of the physical conditions or anything like that. Every now and then the mental condition, the disorder germs which are almost dead in my awareness try to hold me back, if you understand. But I do not do that because I have become strong enough, you see, to say, shh. That's what I say. I say, shh, silent. Stay where you are. I know. I Once I bored on you, you would just keep me going, you see. The mind of humanity, once you board on one thought during the meditation, that's the point. It would take you on an infinite journey. You board on one thought, please understand this. You board on one thought, you see. You board on one thought, you board on the entire universe. Because we talked about that. No thought is your personal thought. Just because you are perceiving the thought, it does not mean it is your personal thought. And I have proved that through numerous metaphors. including the metaphor of rubber band, if you understand. If you take a rubber band ball and you know this rubber band ball is made out of numerous and countless rubber bands, but the boarding on one thought is just like that. You see, once you board on one thought, once you board on one rubber band in the rubber band ball, it's really hard to tell which rubber band you boarded on. You see, now the entire ball is over there. That's how our thoughts, the thoughts of all humans, are entangled, just like the rubber bands are overlapping in the rubber band ball, just like that. All the thoughts are overlapping. You see, all the thoughts are totally entangled. The heads are attached, you see, if you want to imagine. Imagination plays. I noticed also a lot of people start following me here. And I also noticed not quite a few, but maybe a few people um, just, I think they parted ways with me. You see, my heart is, I still wish them best of luck in their journey, no matter how miserable that is, and they choose to be miserable because they are addicted to misery. You see, they say, I have no energy with me. I want somebody outside of me to help me. You see, that's what they say. Nobody would help you from outside. Tie a knot, and keep that knot in the very depth of your mind, that no one, keep that knot in the very depth of your mind, that no one is going from outside is going to help. What am I doing here in this moment in time? Yeah. In this moment in time, in this second, what am I doing here? Am I not helping you? But you want more than words. You lay down, you play the pity party, you see. You feel sorry about yourself. You make excuses, it has not talked enough. It has not. How much talk do you need? Hmm? When are you going to end the misery? Your talk, or what I share from divinity, can only have a certain influence on you. I can not do it for you. I can only walk with you for some time. You have to do it yourself. I quote Rumi, the brilliant mystic and the enlightened being of all times. It's your road and your road alone. But you still don't realize, you see, since you have become since you have become feeble, and since you have become weak, you want a hand like Jesus Christ is portrayed in the church pictures, that Jesus Christ is standing over there, and all these people are asking from Jesus Christ. You see, even though if he performed miracle that was 2000 years back, he is nowhere to be found right now in this moment in time, while you lay on the couch or you lay on the bed and you play pity party and you suffer. Hmm? No matter how many times you chant his name, it is not going to make any difference. If you are a person of faith, you keep going over there. Good luck to you. As far as your evolution spiritually, forget about it. It's not happening because your mind frame is not on a high level of frequency. And you are the one who would bring it up, basically, willingly, you see. But no, you want Jesus Christ, you see. I wouldn't even mention Muhammad. I'm tired of him. But yeah, you want Jesus Christ, or you want any of the good, prominent, and spiritual leaders who made a difference in numerous times and through different times on this planet, if you understand. You want them to be around you. You want them. मेरे को शक्ति दे, मेरे को शक्ति दे मालिक, मेरे को शक्ति दे, मेरे को ताकत दे, मेरे को शक्ति दे. You want that, basically. You want that. You want them to be around. You know what I mean? You want them to be around so they can come and hold your hand, and they can put their hand or their palm on your forehead, and they can tell you that I am going to take all the pain and all the misery away now, just like this. You see, this is fiction. This is what the expression I'm looking for in English. This is fiction. This is the fragmentate. This is fiction. This is the fragment, excuse me. This is the fragmentation of your own mind, you see. Then you go to sleep, then you get high, then you abuse substances, you create addictions. But then when you are sober, you realize everything is zero, just like a big zero. Have you ever seen a zero? Zero excites you, huh? So that's what happens. And you are back to zero, and zero is all there is. And then you do the same thing again, trying to get a different result every attempt you make, trying to get a different result. That every attempt you make, you do the same thing over and over and over again, but and trying to get what you desire, basically trying to get what you are wishing, basically. But you are not changing the ways to get what you are wishing. You don't want to let go of the old patterns because that is outside of your comfort zone. You don't want to defocus from the objects around you. It seems like a workout to you. You want somebody, you want a helping hand, basically. That helping hand would come around and put the helping hand on your forehead and would tell you magically, I'm going to take all your disorders, misery away now. Watch this. It would never happen. It's impossible. It defies the very law of the karma. God, what you understand, if you're a religious person, God is not even exempted from the rule of karma. You know that karma is God is not even exempted from the law of karma. So what are you? What is your existence? I am, in other words, what I'm telling you, and why am I telling you that, and what I am telling you. In other words, what I am saying. In other words, what I am saying, that you have to initiate this process, no matter what your condition is. My words of truth and wisdom would not bring no change in you, or maybe very less change at the most. You see, that's why this person I mentioned not long ago is going through a lot of misery, you see. But no, doing practical seems like a workout to me, you see. You humans, I'm not saying everybody, but there are people basically, they would think of extreme because they feel so overwhelmed. My job is not to judge your feelings. However, my job is to show you another way out of suffering. That's what I'm doing here. You see, I do not judge, because if I start judging you like the religious people, judge holier than thou, thumping books, you see. No, it's not happening, you see, in my case. Judge I was judging somebody that was a different carnation. I was judging somebody that was a different lifetime, you see. I was judging somebody that, or I was comparing myself, that was absolutely a different lifetime, a different carnation. Shh, silent the mind. Shh. So, but now this is different. This is, I am showing you, I am attempting to show you there is a way out of your misery while you contemplate, God forbid me, 1,000 times, the extreme in your mind. Thought comes in your mind, thought has crossed your mind, is the devil and the demon. They are just waiting, they are penetrating this poison in you. Extreme, suicide, kill it, all that, demons and devil. This is the voice of demon and devil, because the moment, God forbid me, one does that, after that, because the person was already vulnerable, you see. And now it's ironic, as I mentioned to you time to time, and now the very source, basically, now the very source that you could have done something about the karma which is attached to the essence, that point of awareness, you could do something about that through this body which is accumulation. Ironic, isn't it? And now you destroyed it. You are vulnerable, you see. It's just like that. Imagine if 1,000 people around are lusting on my body, you see. I would put myself on example. It's just like that 1,000 people or numerous people, innumerable people are lusting over my body. And I think if I take my clothes off and I get bare or in my birthday suit, it would have them go away. No, I would become more vulnerable because now I am totally bare, you see. And their lust would intensify. I speak to you very clearly and openly. Would intensify just like that. It would intensify whatever the misery we were going through. You think, God forbid me, the thought crosses your mind of extreme, but you would not start from the basic step. You would not start from, because that seems much difficult for you, but extreme seems easier for you. Easy way. It's not easy way. It's, I would be honest with you, I know heaven or hell is not a physical or geographical place where you are headed. It's the state of the being. But watch this. I'm making you understand what I'm saying. It's the path to hell, basically. If somebody takes extreme action, it's the path to hell. Again, it's not a physical place. The, the state of the being is going to be very miserable very, very soon if this action is done. So do not think of extreme. You see, do not entertain the idea from the demons. Do not entertain the idea from the devil. You see, do not even entertain the idea. Entertain the idea. What Yaz is saying, I must give it a try. You see, at least if it didn't work, at least you would have the satisfaction I tried it. But no, the feelings, whatever you are going through, my heart goes out to you and I send you healing every meditation and kriya or every samadhi, every chance I get, I do. But there is so much healing that I can send. You need to do your part. I am making you remember. Remember, I tell you to remember the word remember, you see. So I am making you remember. I'm reminding you time to time. I'm doing my part, you see. I send you healing, but you gotta do your part, my loved ones, okay? Do not part ways. Even if you part ways, it has no impact on me. You see, I have done my part. In the immensity, if you understand, I have done my part in the literally in the immensity of this cosmos. The immensity, this is boundless. If you understand, this is limitless. If you understand, but I in capital letter have performed my part, the part that I signed up for, you see. But I showed you the light, I showed you the transparency of things. What you do with this wisdom, what you do with this truth is your um, decision entirely. However, your suffering makes us sad. When I am saying us now, it means that I am saying about the yogis, the, the sannyasis, the wise people who share their wisdom all the time to end the suffering in your life. You see, it makes us sad. It saddens us. The your misery, basically, that's what I'm saying. Your misery, the pain you are going through, it saddens us. Jesus Christ is looking at you right now. and a lot of brilliant and potent beings are looking at you right now, including myself, and our heart is going out for you. Our hearts are going out for you. Our hearts are crying, if you understand. But we say that we wish, you see, that because when we look at your misery, we say, we wish that we could take this pain away, just like that magical scenario that I gave you in the beginning of this conversation, that we could literally take this pain away. If we could literally break the law of the karma. But karma, the law of the karma, the main and fundamental is karma only can be transcended. You see, it cannot be silenced. You see, you understand? Mhm. Mhm. Karma, it cannot be silenced. Karma, silenced. Shh. It cannot be silenced. It cannot be pushed away. It cannot be buried. It cannot be anything. Energy has to run its course. Energy can never die. It can change form. It is changing form. Life as an energy is evolving, is expanding. You see, it is very simple. So it cannot be ignored. It cannot be avoided. It would just keep coming back and keep coming back with or without our body. So ponder on the message today. Number two is stop looking what you were doing last November, if you understand. And last November, you were really happy. And now, all of a sudden, something just like a switch, sadly and unfortunately, something um, just flicked in you. And now you keep comparing yourself last November to this November. In this November, in this present November, you are not, you are miserable, unfortunately. But last November, stop looking at the memory, what you were doing right now. What is the most significant thing? What is handed over to you, and what can you do about it? If you just keep looking back and keep comparing these two Novembers, you like to compare Novembers, So if you just keep comparing these two Novembers, then there is no result, there is no good outcome, there is no remedy for the pain. As a matter of fact, you would just be sad and sad and sad more. And sadness, I can guarantee you, is no good for us, for any of us. If you understand, sadness is no good for us, because after being sad for a long period of time, not long in terms of years, but even in terms of days or weeks, it would imprint on your it would imprint on your karma. It would become the part of your tendency. You see, when I speak truth, when I say these things, people think in their mind that they are being scared, you see. Not that I'm trying to scare you, but you are being scared, because you are feeble. You say, and you try to deny it then. You say, no, this is not how things are. But I can guarantee you, I know it by the observation of others, the people who are consistently, that's the word I'm looking for, the people who are consistently, the people who are constantly, the people who are consistently, the people constantly who are sad, in grief, in sadness for 3 consecutive months, one after another, after another. You see, they would, unfortunately and sadly, they would develop a disease in their body. So not only the sadness has an impact on your physicality, but it also has an impact on the spirit. You see, it has a direct impact on the spirit because it imprints, if you understand, it imprints on the karma then. And then though it is guaranteed 3 months literally in a row, and they would um, develop some type of disease. It is so severe that it has even an impact on your body. You see, sadness no good for you. But what can you do about sadness? First thing is you first thing is you stop comparing November's or September or October or any of the months. You see, do not worry about what you were. Some of the karma, please understand, my loved ones, my seers, my viewers, my followers, some of the karma manifest after a certain number of years in your life. You see, I remember my time. I was a very happy child. I was in my mid um, teens. I was a very happy child. As soon as I touched 18, you see, some switch, somebody, it's felt like the somebody actually just turned, if you understand. It felt like that somebody actually flicked a switch within me. I was very surprised what happened to my happiness. I was very surprised what happened to my excitement. I became scared. I became anxious. You see, I was feeling fear, but I also had the wisdom from previous lifetimes, and something within me told me, you can either live this way, which is not going to take anywhere, the time is very important, or you can do something about it. You see, and then when you have the intention to free the consciousness, what you essentially are, or to free the sense of self awareness, you have backup. I can guarantee you that. People would start happening in your life out of nowhere who would give you strength, who would give you clarity. In the present moment, in these present circumstances, I am the one who is doing that for you. You see, no magical angels are coming down from the sky. My Archangel Raphael, Archangel Michael, Lord Jesus Christ, or any of the potent figures are not coming down from the sky to hold your hand. I wish it was that simple, but it does not happen. It happens in fiction movies. It happens basically in Hollywood, but in reality, it does not happen. And I would be honest with you, I wish it did, because it saddens me when I see you suffering. It saddens me how surrendered you have become to your thought process, how much surrender you have done. You see, how much surrendered you are to this creepy thought process, how sadly and unfortunately, how helpless, that's the right word, how helpless you feel to this thought process. You accept it as normal. You become used to of misery, but you wouldn't do anything about the misery. It's time to do something about the misery. Stop looking back and comparing to Novembers. See, right now, in this moment in time, this is what's been handed over to me. What can be done? Let me hear the words of truth and wisdom that Yaz speaks. He has posted 224 or probably 225 videos on his YouTube channel. Let me start from somewhere. Let me start taking the right measures. Let me start doing the practice of meditation, which is very Kriya meditation, which is very simple and very fundamental thing, which is the easiest thing in my life to do while I'm feeling so overwhelmed with my thought process, you see. And then you start doing these things. I came out of it. My karma triggered after certain years. I didn't make the drama about it. I didn't I wondered initially, and after that, I this thought mind frame that I was happy, but I'm not, is killing me from inside. It is damaging me. It's devastating. And I don't like being damaged. I'm not a loser. I'm not going to let this mind win. I am going to do something about it. And the moment I intended to free my consciousness, the moment I intended to free my awareness, so much goodness started happening in my life, good people, and with their help and the clarity came. Then I became dedicated for last 20 years, totally dedicated to this practice and bringing change and bringing clarity in the lives of many, you see. And I'm happy. It's not a bragging, it's a sense of peace in me. It's a sense of happiness in me that people are being benefit, you see, and people are being helped with my existence, with my being. People are being helped, you see. That's what my thing is. Number two, you also blame God for what you are going through. When you become so frustrated, your life is 100% your making, you see. I'm not trying to be cruel. It can come across very weird according to your American culture. Everything in America is weird. Weird is such a generic name that so many things that your human mind does not understand. There is a label weird. He is weird, she is weird, this is weird, that is weird. All words, you see. You humans have learned to play with words and words only. You want to hear words of comfort. You don't want to hear truth. You are not ready for the truth. That somebody tells you truth, there is very small tolerance in you for the truth. And after that, you part ways. Good luck with your life. You see, I have done my part. Anyway, so you blame God. God is not doing anything. You understand that? God is not entrusted to suffer, to make you suffer your life, whatever you are going through, every inch, every minute atom, the smallest of the smallest unit that you can imagine is you 101% your own making. This is your karma. You can say, I have not done anything bad, you see, because your brain remembers, I have not done anything bad. Why it is happening to me? Well, you have not done maybe anything bad in this lifetime, but the lifetime before, you came here countless times. You came here numerous times. Innumerable times you came. Like so many times that you would lose the count. You cannot basically even count it. So many times you have been here on this planet. Most people, instead of transcending karma, they accumulate more karma because they are conducting the process of life without clarity. There is no rocket science going on. It's very simple. The more clarity you have, the more you would transcend karma. That's why clarity is so significant. Your life is 100% your making, if you understand, and your making solely. My life is 100% my making and my making solely. You may be not, you may not remember, if you understand, you like to remember, huh? You may not be remembering the what you did in the previous lifetimes. Now you are not doing anything, or maybe you have transcended, if you understand, or maybe you have transcended yourself from the old traits, but what you caused, the effect of it remains, you see. That's the very fundamental definition of karma. What you caused, the effect of it is not going anywhere. The effect can only be transcended, you see. It is not going anywhere, it remains intact. You have to transcend the effect in order to get rid of it. You cause something, you would see the effect. You cannot run away or escape the effect of it. Places of worship, I mean, with respect, I'm not here to downplay your places of worship, no matter what that is. It's a mosque or it's a church or it's a synagogue. You see, your places of worship. You go over there, you get down on your knees, you shed some tears and you look up like this and you ask forgiveness. You understand? Ask forgiveness. That's fine. I'm not condemning that action. Ask forgiveness. You see, it may have some impact. Ask for it. But the effect, basically, that you have, what the word I'm looking for in English, the effect basically that you have accumulated, the effect remains. Cause, you cause something, the effect remains. You see what you have accumulated. The only way it can go away is you transcend the effect, you see. And I have given you the entire education in last 224 or last 225 videos on YouTube, you see. um, you take the right measures, you adopt Kriya meditation as the very significant thing in your life. Most significant, most significant than everything around, if you understand. And then um, take your faith out of the things that you have learned from everyone around you, which are not serving no purpose. Your faith is invested in judging. Your faith is invested to coming down conclusions about others. When somebody calls you as a conclusion, you become very defensive. You see, you are ready with everything you have to defend and attack that, counter attack the person, you see. So if you inflict it on somebody, that is okay. But when somebody inflicts on you, you do all these things. Transcend yourself, liberate yourself from this kindergarten, liberate yourself from this nursery, the childish stuff. You have passed a certain age. You see, when we were children, I would give you an example, the candy, the chocolate, basically. We were fascinated when we were the children, when we were in kindergarten, when we were in nursery, we were fascinated with candy and the chocolate. But does it have same effect on us now? You understand what I'm saying to you? No, it does not, because we transcended that. Just like, how is it different transcending the nasty habits? How is it different? It's exactly the same. You are grown up. You are not a child no more. So grow out of it, please, my loved ones. Act like that you have grown up. You see, it's no fun talk about people who are not around you. There is so much you can talk, and you are creating a negative vibration that would come back to you. I promise you that, as certain as you are hearing the sound of my voice, you see. So some karma that you have caused, effect remains. Transcend the effect. God is not doing anything. Your life is 100%, 100% is your own making. Whether you know it or you do not know it, it makes no difference to the life, you see, because life has upper hand. Your psychological drama has no hand. If you understand, life is in the charge, and it is showing you every moment, and it is showing you every second. I am in the charge, not your separate self, not your abstract individual, you see, which was handed to you by everybody around you. So ponder on what I said. Um, do not blame God. God is not doing anything. God actually wants to run through your accumulation, which is your body, if you understand. And you are not letting God run through because you are stuck in misery, unfortunately. And I'm here to liberate you. I'm here to free you from your misery. So focus on what I told you today, my loved ones. Please focus on it. Rewatch this video. If you have questions, you can write me, but nevertheless, do not go anywhere, because words have no meanings if you do not do the practical. If you understand, practical is a must. East or west, practical is the best. All right, I'll be right back so we can meditate together, okay? I'm sorry, I need to adjust something here. I just noticed. I'm trying to adjust something here, please. Okay. Thank you for the patience, my loved ones. Thank you for the patience. You, um, I'm glad you have tons of patience. I have given you clarity in terms of words of wisdom and truth, as I always do. But remember something. You see, I want you to remember that without the practical, without Kriya meditation, without practical, uh, it's not going to work. So we are just going to do the practical. I just sent you in this meditation that we just did basically. I just sent you healing. If you understand, I just sent you healing. And I sent you strength. I know you need a strength. Do not forget that I always have loved you and I always will.